Hey guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know why it does this sometimes. Like, maybe I need to move y'all away from the light or something. I have no idea. My phone just acts like this sometimes. I don't know why. It's not clear and focused like it normally is. So, to keep some like book content going, I am going to be reading more scary stories to tell in the dark. I should review the first one. I forgot to review the first one once I finished reading like the entire book on my channel. So there are more stories like this on my channel, plus me reading scary stories and stuff like that. So give those a watch. It's been a long time since I made one of these videos, and I enjoy making these videos, and I hope you guys like this. I hope you like this video. So it says somebody fell from a loft. And so it's a pretty long story, but it's going to be okay. I had signed on as an ordinary seaman on the Falls of Ettrick, a merchant ship bound for England. The first time I saw that ship, I knew her right away. She was the old Gertrude Spurshoe. I had sailed on her years before when she was painted brown and gold. Now she was painted black and had a new home, but it was the same ship for sure. We had a pretty good crew for that voyage, except for one hard-looking ticket named McLaren or McLaurin. I'm sorry, I can't read today. I'm blind or something. He was a pretty good seaman, but there was something about him that I didn't trust. He was kind of secretive, kept mostly to himself. One day somebody told him that I had worked on the old Gertrude. For some reason, he got all a tremble over that. Then I catched him giving me all these ugly black looks. Sorry, this is in the book. As if he was itching to knife me in the back. I guess it had something to do with the Gertrude, but I didn't know what. Well, this one day, we was trying to work our way through a dripping black fog. Again, this is in the book, so I'm sorry if it offends anybody. It's literally written in the book. And the way this story is made, like, it's like one of my least favorites so far. You scarcely knew we had all the lights on, and it was dead calm. The way this one was written is just so bad. There wasn't a breath of fresh air. The ship just lay there, wallowing in a trough and a rolling, going nowheres. I'm just going to unpause my video real quick. And just, so it don't matter. I was standing my watch around midships, and McLaurin was doing his trick at the wheel. The rest of the crew was scattered around one place and another. It was as quiet as could be. Then all at once, wacko, this thing hits the deck right in front of McLaurin, sorry. I keep wanting to say McLaren. It's McLaurin. He lets go a screech that turns my blood cold, and he falls down in a faint. I'm gonna get a drink. I'm sorry, guys. It always seems like I have problems reading, or like problems when I'm reading with my throat. The second mate starts yelling that somebody has fallen from aloft. Laying out there just forward of the wheel was someone or something dressed in oilskins with blood oozing out from underneath. The captain ran and fetched a big light from his cabin so we could see who it was. They kind of straightened him out to get a look at. The way this is written is so bad. I'm sorry. They kind of straightened him out to get a good look at his face. He was a big, ugly looking devil, but nobody knew who he was or what he was doing up there. At least nobody was saying. When McLaurin came from his faint, they tried to get something out of him. All he did was jabber away and keep rolling those big, wide-looking eyes of his. Sorry. Because I'm afraid my video is just going to, like, exit out the one that I'm watching, not this one. Everyone was getting more and more excited. We all wanted to heave the body overboard as quick as we could. There was something weird about it, as if it wasn't real, but the captain wasn't so sure about getting rid of it that way. Could it be a stowaway, he asked, but the ship was so filled with lumber we were carrying, there was no space where a living thing could hide for 3 weeks, which is how long we had been out. Even if it was a stowaway, what was it doing aloft on such a dirty day? There was no reason for anyone to be up there. There was nothing to see. Finally, the captain gave up and told us to heave him overboard, that nobody would touch him. The mate ordered us to pick him up, but nobody made a move. Then he tried coaxing, but that didn't do any good. Suddenly, that loony McLaurin starts yelling, "I handled him once and I can handle him again." He picks up the body and staggers over to the railing with it. He is just about to throw it overboard when it wraps its two big, long arms around him, and over they go together. Then on the way down, one of them starts laughing in a horrible way. The mates are yelling to launch a boat, but nobody would get into a boat, not on a night like that. We threw a couple of life preservers after them, but everybody knew they wouldn't help. So that was that, or was it? The first chance I had to go home after that, I went right over to see old Captain Spurshoe, who was captain when the Gertrude was around. Well, he says one trip those two outlandish men shipped aboard the Gertrude. One was McLaurin, the other was a really big fella. The big one was always picking on McLaurin and thumping him around, and McLaurin was always talking about how he would get back at him. Well, this wet, dirty night, the two of them was up there alone, and the big one came flying down, killed himself deader than a heron. The way they wrote this is just weird. I know it's supposed to be because of fisherman talk or whatever, but that's the picture. But it just don't make any sense, you know? I'm sorry. Lauren says the foot rope they were using parted and how he almost fell himself, but everybody who saw the rope knew she didn't give away on her own. She had been cut through with a knife. After that, whenever we came into port, McLaurin thought we were going to get the police after him, and he'd get pretty scared, but we couldn't prove anything, so we didn't try. Excuse me. In the end, I guess the big fella took care of things in his own way. If he was a ghost that came back, that's what he was. If there be things like ghosts. So that was the end of that story. I'm sorry, this story was so hard to get through because of the way it was written and the way it was talking, and I don't know. I might try to read this one more story. It is a little bit shorter. Let me pause my video real quick. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I have to unpause my video because I don't want it to, like, kick me out or whatever. So if you hear noise, that's what it is. Okay, so this one's called The Little Black Dog, and that's what it looks like. Just a little black dog. Okay. So, the little black dog. Billy Mansfield said that a little black dog followed him wherever he went, but he was the only one who saw it. So people thought he was kind of crazy. To drive the dog away, Billy was always hollering at it, throwing rocks at it, but the dog always came back. The first time Billy saw that dog was the day he fought Silas Burton. Billy was just a young man then, but the Burtons and Billy's family had been feuding for years. When Billy saw Silas riding toward him, he went for his gun and Burton went for his. But Billy fired first. He hit Burton in the back, knocking him from his horse. Burton's horse ran off and his gun fell where he couldn't reach it. He lay there on the ground, pleading with Billy not to kill him, but Billy killed him anyway. Burton's little black dog was with him when he was shot. The dog kept licking Burton's face and barking and snarling at Billy. In his anger, Billy killed the dog too. There wasn't much law enforcement in those days, so Billy wasn't arrested. But all that night, he heard Burton's dog outside his cabin, scratching on his door and barking to be let in. I'm imagining this, Billy said to himself. I shot that dog. It's dead. But the next morning, Billy saw the dog. It was waiting for him outside. Sorry if you can hear Roxy snoring over here. She's so loud. Roxy, wake up. But the next morning, Billy saw the dog. It was waiting for him outside. From then on, there was not a day where he didn't see it, and there wasn't a night when he didn't hear it scratching on his door, barking to be let in. From then on, Billy was always finding black dog hairs on the sofa, on the floor, in his bed, even in his food. And the house and the yard stank of dog. That's what Billy said. Whenever somebody told him there wasn't any dog to see, he'd say, "Maybe you don't see it, but I do, and I'm not any crazier than you are." Things went on like that for many years. Then one morning, in the middle of the winter, the neighbors didn't see any smoke coming out of Billy's chimney. When they went over to check, Billy wasn't there. A day or so later, they found his body laying in the snow in a field back at his cabin. Billy had plenty of enemies, and at first it seemed like somebody might have killed him. But there wasn't a mark on his body, and there wasn't any footprints. And there wasn't any footprints out there except for Billy's. The doctors said Billy died of old age, but there was something odd about his death. When the neighbors found Billy, there were black dog hairs on his clothes. There were even a few on his face. It smelled like a dog had been out there. Yet no one had seen a dog anywhere. I'm sorry, I'm just having a hard time talking for some reason. But that will be the last one for now. We'll continue with Clinkety Clink next time. So yeah, I'm going to upload book related content on Thursdays. So it may be a book review and maybe one of these videos. We'll just see from now. I do want to mix something up in there every now and then that's related to books. But you guys know I like to read, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Excuse me. I wish I could get through more, but I can't. My throat. For some reason, my throat is always effed up when I start to read these books. I don't know what it is, but yeah, so I have scary stories to tell in the dark that I just read from, and I have still more scary stories for sleepovers and more super scary stories for sleepovers. So yeah, I have so many of these books that I could read to you guys. I enjoy making these videos. I used to make them all the time. They didn't get very many views, but I still enjoyed making them because I didn't care only about the views. So I'm gonna go. So you might get a book review on Thursdays. You might get one of these videos on Thursday. You might get something else book related. It may not always be book related on Thursdays, but I'm gonna try to keep it that way just so I have something consistent. And I want to do shorts on Monday, which I might still upload something that isn't a short, but let me know what you guys think. See you in the next one. Bye, guys.